Londyn, Coleman, and Aaliyah Wortman were more than cousins. They were best friends.
When they together, it's the life of the party, man. When they together, it's like when they step in the room, everybody's eyes brighten up. The light of the show.
Coleman and Wortman were shot and killed along with 27-year-old Spencer Lawson Jr. on Friday. Coleman's younger brother, Lonzo Sanders, says his sister and cousin were going out to eat with some friends in Indianapolis before they were killed.
Losing her, that was just like a big part of losing my heart.
Coleman's 1-year-old son will now grow up without a mother, but he'll always know who she was.
I see my sister on him 24/7, like no matter what. Even his dad, I still see his dad in him too. He like all they features, all that. So when I see him, I see my sister.
And while Sanders describes Coleman as determined, he's just as determined to find who killed his sister.
I couldn't believe it at first. It took me like a whole 3-4 hours just to start to believe that it was really true. And then when I finally it set in, it was just like, man.
Just after 7 p.m. on April 12th, Lawrence police responded to the Jamestown apartment community in the 4400 block of Duxbury Lane near 42nd Street and North Post Road for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would locate multiple people suffering from apparent gunshot wounds.
At 7:16 p.m., officers responded here to a shots fired call and found 3 victims on scene. They were pronounced dead at the scene. Now, police have described these victims as young, although they haven't provided any information yet on their ages or genders.
Once again, we're on the scene of a senseless crime. The chief, the deputy chiefs, and myself in the department and the city as a whole, this is unacceptable. We have to figure out some type of way to diffuse situations like this that do not result in firearms being used to settle conflicts.
The victims were identified as 19-year-old cousins, Aaliyah Wortman and Londyn Coleman, who was a mother to a baby boy, and a male identified as 27-year-old Spencer Lawson. All 3 were sadly pronounced dead at the scene after succumbing to multiple gunshot wounds. According to those close to the cousins, the pair were headed out to eat with friends when the shooting occurred. A woman who lives at the apartment complex described hearing several shots from the side of her apartment as she hid with her kid. Police scanner traffic indicated police are looking for 2 male suspects. Lawrence police impounded a Chevy Impala from the crime scene, but police have not announced any arrest or suspect descriptions. Neither the victims nor the suspects lived at the apartment complex. A couple hours after the shooting, Lawrence police released a statement saying that the circumstances surrounding the shooting are under active investigation, and preliminary information leads police to believe this may have been a targeted attack. However, police said there is no active threat to the community. Aaliyah Wortman and Londyn Coleman were from Marion, Indiana, and more like sisters than cousins. Those who knew them described them as 2 of the sweetest girls you would ever meet in your life. They had a positive energy, were a good time, and were loved by many.
It was at 1 p.m. I talked to her. We were on Messenger talking and asking her, where you been? I haven't seen you. Usually she comes over and gets food or whatever. She's like, I'm good. I'm in Indianapolis. It's dry. That's what she always says. But I'm good. I'll be to see you soon. I was like, okay, baby. Be safe. She said, okay.
Diane Jones, known to the family as Cookie, is both Londyn and Aaliyah's older cousin. She says the 19-year-olds are known for having a lot of energy.
I always say she's the hype. When she walks in, she's dancing. When she leaves, she's dancing. Always got a smile on her face.
Cookie says Londyn and Aaliyah were like 2 peas in a pod. Both love being around the family and having fun.
Londyn came up here a lot with her and to see her brother and them. So she just came up here, and I think she was just here for the weekend, probably for a concert. And she loved to eat, so going out to eat. The girl loved to eat.
At some point, Londyn was supposed to meet up with her brother Lonzo back at his home.
So I just ended up going to sleep, and then I just heard my mama up in the morning screaming, so I just had woke up, and then it's just like off rip, I already knew something was wrong.
That was the moment Lonzo Sanders found out his sister Londyn Coleman and their cousin Aaliyah were 2 of the 3 victims in Friday's fatal shooting at Jamestown Apartments.
I just went straight into brother mode, like I wanted to figure out who did it, and it was just like, I know, even I know my sister, she got a son, so it was like, if I crash out, if I go do something wrong, Now that just took me away from him.
Lonzo and Cookie are now left to sort through an array of emotions. Both say it helps to get in the kitchen like the good old days and look back at the fun times like family trips. Or dance parties.
That's her in the hills.
But no matter how deep the pain, both say they will fight through it until the case is solved.
I want to know why. I want to know what we could have done if it was, I don't know what it could have been over. But I really want to know why, and I want justice for them.
Friends and family came together in their hometown of Marion, Indiana, for a candlelight vigil and balloon release, emotions still running high. A few days after the murders, police would announce the arrest of 24-year-old Malik Shaw.
Even in the darkest days, since we'll be apart.
3 people died Friday night in the 4400 block of Duxbury Road. One was 27-year-old Spencer Lawson of Indianapolis, but the others were 19-year-old cousins, Aaliyah Wortman and Londyn Coleman.
Those were 2 of the sweetest girls you would ever meet in your life. They had such positive energy. They were a good time, and as you can see, everyone loved them.
The crime scene was near 46th Street and Post Road, just over the border in Lawrence.
We feel like they were targeted for some reason. We don't know why. These kids did not deserve this.
Ladies, a mother, like
ambushed for no reason. We know someday we'll meet again.
In Marion, friends and family gathered in the girls' hometown and recalled cousins who were more like sisters, always together.
It made me happy that they had such an impact on so many lives. Because not only are our hearts breaking, the community's hearts have been breaking.
Aaliyah was set to graduate high school this spring. Now, instead of celebrating a rite of passage, family and friends are mourning a life cut short by an unknown killer.
You're disgusting trash, and I hope it catches up to you. And that karma eats you up way worse than you ever did to them.
24-year-old Malik Shaw has been preliminarily charged with 3 counts of murder and charges from an unrelated warrant. While an arrest has been made, the investigation is far from over. Law enforcement says they are committed to uncovering any other individuals behind these crimes and will continue to work diligently until all those responsible are brought to justice. The motive behind the shooting is still unknown, and the case remains ongoing.